Good morning, everyone. It's 5:36 in the morning, and it's really early, and it's cold outside. But I'm opening this morning. Have to get everything ready for first drink at 7 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going on here in the cafe before anybody gets here. So here at my cafe, we've got a few different stations. One of my favorite stations, I love them all, but one of my favorite is the brew bar area. We use some beautiful V60s. We also have an identical setup with some Genos over here. But we have all of our grinders that grind based on weight. We also have some Chemexes. One of my favorite parts of this station, though, is our Marco boiler. It doses water out at exactly the right temperature, the exact amount of like 410, so that we can have enough for just in case we go over or under. A little bit of a wiggle room there, but what we try to do is calibrate everything based on weight with our arms and our feels and our muscles and everything, so that we can use these beautiful stands instead of have to use a scale every time. Next station we got up is our espresso bar. Ours is quite large because we have so much going on over here. This is a Slayer espresso machine. It's one of my favorite types of machines to work with just because of how customizable and usable it is. It's very user-friendly. It's very straightforward, not many bells and whistles. Very much appreciate that, especially on a very expensive, very industrial espresso machine. These grinders right here, if you work in a cafe or know anything about espresso grinders, these are kind of the workhorses in the espresso grinder world. You can grind a rock through them and it won't do anything to disrupt your service. Then, of course, we have our pastry area and our register. This is where all the magic really happens. But that's kind of the rundown of everything we got going here. You start over at our register, everything gets distributed according to what kind of drink it is and what needs to be done for it. So one of the cool things that I get to do as the opening shift leader, the person who kind of sets the tone for everything for what we got going on today, is I get to make sure that all the coffees, specifically our espresso, tastes good. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. We're gonna try to dial in a couple espressos to see that we have our Golden Sound and our Daredevil blend to make sure that those taste good, so that whenever anybody orders either just straight espresso or orders a milk-based espresso drink, they can have a delicious, wonderful experience no matter what espresso they might prefer. All right, so that was a very abbreviated, sped up process, a view of what I do in order to get espresso dialed in. So what's going on there? So what I'm doing is I'm taking the written dose on our recipe tags, which we use. I'm not going to show some secrets here. We use a specific dose based on our portafilter size, which portafilter is this thing, the main connection point of the espresso to the espresso machine. So use a specific dose, specific amount of water going through at certain points in the process, and then timing it all together to make sure that everything works together and tastes great. So that's what I did multiple times over. That's why we sped it up, because it's not the most fascinating process at real time, but you can kind of see the progression of, all right, so I need to make some adjustments. I need to change different portions of the recipe to make sure it tastes good. All in all, that's what I was doing. I was just adjusting some parameters to get the coffee tasting great. That's all we do, and we're dialing in. And that's all you can do when you're dialing in your coffee at home too, just like we've talked about a few days ago, making sure that you're tracking your progress as you are brewing your coffee, and the different weights that you put into it, the different times that it draws down at, your grind sizes that you're using, all the different things that go into making a great cup of coffee, whether at home or in the cafe. Hey, another thing really quick, if you're liking these videos, make sure to share this with people. Or if you're not liking these videos and you have someone who you think would like these videos, pass this along. Tell them to search for Coffee for Everyday Use on YouTube. Tell them to search for us on Instagram and Facebook as well. We also have a podcast we're revamping and coming out with on Monday. We're trying to make sure that everybody has access to good coffee resources and coffee resources that make sense. So we'd love for you to subscribe as well if you haven't subscribed already. But just make sure to keep up with us, turn on notifications, do whatever you got to do to get the latest coffee resources and information in your inbox, on your phone, wherever you might receive your notifications. And of course, how could I forget? Go buy our book on Amazon. Search for the same thing, Coffee for Everyday Use, on Amazon.com. They do all of our printing, all of our publishing. They do everything for us. So if you are a Prime user, you can get it within like 2 to 3 days of ordering. It's very affordable, very well priced, in my opinion. I have made this resource and kind of flagshipped all of everything that you're seeing here and listening to on the podcast, on any of our socials. That's what started all of this. So please go and buy that too. Y'all have a great, oh God, it's Wednesday. It's already Wednesday. The week's just getting away from me. Y'all have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, happy brewing.